In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get all of the rest of the bottom and top layer fully oriented. Fully permuted and basically solving the whole cube. Before this, you should know, one, how to solve into cube shape. This is still kind of cube shape, even with this flip. And also how to orient the top and the bottom so that they're all fully white and yellow. If you don't know how to do that yet, check out my other videos on them. Now, so this will be split up into two steps. First, I'll be orienting all the corners on the top and on the bottom, and then we'll just be doing some algorithms to solve the edges. For the corners, there are multiple algorithms, but they are pretty easy to remember in my opinion, so I'm going to be showing you all of them. But for just starting the edges, I'll be just showing you two very simple algorithms, which you can repeatedly do to solve it. It won't be as fast as learning all of them, but it's less algs than just a beginner one. Later on, when I do some more advanced ones, I'll be talking about a lot more of them. Anyways, let's get straight into the video. So for these algs, it'll be looking over stuff such as like the top may be diagonal swap and the bottom may be like adjacent swap, like it is right now. But if you don't know how to know if it's diagonal or adjacent, this is just a quick and easy way. One quick way is just, you can see that for diagonal, on each side, all the corners will be opposite. And also, so for adjacent, there won't be like, this one is not opposite, this one is, but only one of them will be opposite. And also for adjacent, there will be headlights, but on diagonal, there will not be. Anyways, let's get into the first algorithm. Okay, so the first algorithm I'll be teaching you is when the bottom is fully solved, meaning the corners, because we're looking at corners right now, the corners are fully solved, and then the edges are an adjacent corner swap, meaning you can see the headlights, and these are not diagonal except for one. So what you do is you just put the headlights in the back over here, and you do this algorithm. Push it up, you move them both to the side, you move them 3 to the side. So basically like U prime, then you move the bottom layer once, and then top layer. If I'm correct, all of these algs will only be including like 3, meaning just U moves and U primes and Ds and D primes. No like 1s and all these misaligns and all of that. Next is when the bottom is solved as well, again, and the top is in a diagonal swap. So again, no headlights, and these are all diagonal. Sorry, opposite. So what you do is you can face any side for this, because what you're going to be doing is just swapping 2 corners, and it doesn't really matter which 2, because these are diagonally swapped, it'll solve them anyway. So what you do is just slash, move one clockwise, the other in the other direction, slash, the top one, turn it, both move again, slash, top one turn, and then both move, and then it's solved. That corner is solved. Next, we got the case when it's adjacent on the top and on the bottom. So what you do for that is put the the headlights in the back, and just do this. Slash, move the top layer, slash, bring it back and move the bottom layer, slash, move the bottom layer back, and slash again. And that solves all the corners. Next, you got the case when they're diagonal on the top and on the bottom. This is a very simple case. All you need to do is slash, move both one side, slash, move them back, slash, and you solve all the corners. And finally, we got the case when there's diagonal on the top and adjacent on the bottom. And for this case like this, if you have adjacent on the top, all you need to do is just flip it over and do it on the bottom. So for this diagonal, again, it can be situated in any way, but you want the headlights for adjacent to be on the left. And then you just do, at least what's on 3x3 is called sexy move. It's a weird name, but it goes like this. You just keep doing it. Up, push, and pull back. That solves all of the corners. Now we're just going to be looking at how to solve the edges, and there's just going to be 2 different algs that I'll be showing you that you can cycle multiple times to get the desired solved state. Let's go. First, it's what's called an adjacent swap, where these two, the adjacent edges need to be swapped, and these two adjacent edges need to be swapped. So what you do is you put the bottom one on the back and on the right here, and the top one on the left and on the back, like that. Sorry, right this way. So like these two on the top, and on the bottom it's these two. And you do this algorithm. And that solves all the edges. And the second algorithm I'm going to show you is when you have opposite swap on both sides, on top and on the bottom. So if this is swapped with this, and this is swapped with this, you can just put them both so that they swap front to the back, and just do, if you looked in my Edge, the EO tutorial, you'll know what this is called, the M2, where you misalign the top, do that, and misalign. So that's called an M2. What you do is you just do an M2, U2, and then just do the M2. And there you go. Okay, so I'm also going to do just one quick example for doing this permutation. So yeah, I mix it up, and we can see over here we got, on the bottom we have a diagonal swap, and on the top we have headlights, these two, so that means we have adjacent. So what we do for that, we put adjacent on the bottom, put it to the left. Okay, we'll have to align it so we have this. Put it to the left, and then do that algorithm. So like this. Okay, we solved that. Now we see what we got here. Okay, I was not planning for this, but we got just a simple adjacent. So again, we just put these two into the back, put these two over here, and we do that same algorithm again. That solves it. One thing you may find is that you may have a case that won't properly do it, and even if you do like adjacent, all of that, you'll always have two that are just flipped, and that won't work at all. I mean, everything else is solved. That's called parity. You can either fix that in the corner permutation, or you can do it in the edge permutation. In the corner permutation, it can take a bit longer to recognize the parity, but it's only a 7/ algorithm, while in the edge permutation, it's a 13/ algorithm. I'll be showing you both in this video. Okay, so for the 7/1 in corner permutation, you need to be able to recognize the PLL cases, all of them. Because you'll want to recognize in this corner permutation whether it is a proper PLL case or not. If by chance both of them are not PLL cases, that's still kind of fine. And if they both are PLL cases, it's so fine as well. But if in this case, like this is an H-perm, that's normal, but this is not a proper PLL case. So you'll have to do the parity algorithm over here, which goes like this. Just like that. And now, at least in this case, they're both parity, which is okay. Okay, so the parity alg in EP, edge permutation, is like this, when just these two are flipped and everything else is solved. And of course, as you can see, it's pretty long, but in this case, one, you don't need to know any parity, like PLLs, and you don't need to recognize them. So yeah, this is how it goes. And that's how you solve it. Obviously, it looks pretty long, but it can be, in the end, if you do it, it can be done pretty fast. The alg for this may seem really long, but if you take into account, I guess, the less recognition time and you don't need to know the PLLs, and also it's pretty good. And also, it can be done pretty fast and smoothly, like so. Yeah. And one last thing, there is also a chance that it'll solve right after that, but most of the time there's always something up. One thing that could happen is that you may hit something like this, where it's all solved except for these two bars are just opposite. All you do for that is just slash u2 d2 slash again, and that'll solve that case. And then, like I said in my previous videos, even though you have this, it's still considered cube shape, because now right at the end you can just do this to solve it. Slash u2 slash u2 slash. That'll solve that. And yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped you, and I'll be seeing you in my next video.